Hello and welcome back to SketchUp. In this scale builder, we're going to model a real-world object, a vase, using the push-pull tool, or the follow me tool. So we're going to erase our person, our starting person, and we're going to do some interesting new techniques. We're going to change to the isometric view because we're going to need that like straight-on view, because what we're going to do is we're going to build from an image. So I did a quick Google image search and found this picture of a vase. And just any profile, any picture of any vase in profile will work. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're not trying to do anything real fancy here. We're just trying to model something up real quick. We're not trying to be super precise with this particular operation, but we do need something in the picture. So I'm going to go to like a front view. And then I'm going to actually draw a circle. We're going to start with our circle just to have our base. And I'm going to start in the origin. And I'm going to say this thing's got a 2.5 inch radius. And then we're going to pull this up. Let's say 1/16 of an inch. Well, it'll be like 1/16 of an inch thick walls on this vase. We'll go ahead and group this just temporarily. So that it doesn't get messed with, so it just stays there and behaves well. So I've got the image stored right here. We can actually go over here and hit Insert, and then drag and drop a file from your computer into SketchUp as an image. Notice how it's kind of like, so we're going to go to a front view, and then we're going to put our image here. We'll go to the front view so that it'll try to put it vertically in the image. Now I'm going to try to get it positioned kind of right there and try to get this thing roughly the same size as the base of our vase is. We can do some fine-tuning and adjusting as we move along. We'll hit the move tool and we'll get it kind of, I want it centered, so let's move the center of the thing to the origin. Yeah, there we go, perfect. And now, whoops, we'll go to the front view here. We don't need entity info on. And then we'll drag it down on the y-axis, so hit the up key, and then kind of get it like in there, you know, just so that it's kind of like roughly kind of on the base. And we're not actually trying to replicate the picture of the vase. We're just using it as kind of an informal guide for what our vase will look like. Honestly, I could make it a little bit smaller, but I'm not going to. So the next thing we want to do is, in our front view, we're going to grab the pencil tool, and then we're going to start a line here, and then revert to the front tool. And I'm going to make a line that kind of comes in a little bit, just so that we've got that kind of like pedestal base coming up. And so the reason I have it kind of like bisecting the base is because then I can draw on the face of this image, and it makes my life just a little bit easier. So we'll hit Escape, go back to our front view. You constantly have to be going back to the front view so that you know that you're looking at it straight on. And this is why we're using this, the non-perspective view, the parallel projection. So let's grab our arc tool, and we're going to draw an arc up. Let's just kind of start working our way up the side, drawing some arcs. And what I want to do is I want to try to get them tangent to each other. So notice when the line is blue, it's tangent to the previous line, or it makes a nice smooth transition from the previous line right there. So we try to keep our lines looking like that. So I want to come up to here, and again keep it tangent at the vertex, keep the line blue. This time we want a sharp, we want to come up to this top part, and then this time we are going to have a sharp angle on the interior curve. So we'll go right there. And that is our outer profile. So let's delete this. And now we're going to try something a little different. We don't need the image anymore, so I just clicked on it and I deleted it. And now I'm going to try to draw a rectangle down to the base of this thing. And we'll reverse the face and the white side up. And then we'll grab this. Notice we're not editing the base of the vase. That is its own group and its own object, so we won't be affecting anything that it does. We'll draw this down, and then what I want is, yeah, I guess that's we want to drag this down in the vertical direction and then refer to the very top of that. Yeah, so then notice how this line goes from dark black to kind of like a lighter, thinner color. That means that it is now part of this surface, and that's what we want, is to, we want to be able to just select this and create a profile for our push-pull tool. So we will select this, so these lines, and we're going to weld them together, weld edges. So these are now welded together into one line. So if I select any part of it, it selects the whole curve. And then we will use the offset tool to offset on this edge. And see how we're pulling it kind of in a little bit here? We're going to pull it in 1/16. So we get a 1/16. I didn't do it right. We want just the edge, and we'll pull it in 1/16. Enter. And then we will look at the X-ray tool. I turn on X-ray mode. I have it hotkeyed to X, and so we will grab this. I'm going to just erase this little bit of line here. Just erase the part that goes underneath. And then likewise up at the top, if you did the offset tool, it'll be a little bit sticking up, and there we go. That's what it is. It'd be kind of nice if we could just move it over, but you do have to have it like a constant curve. It has to be a constant thickness, so you do have to use the offset tool, which is just fine. It works great. So now we no longer need this square, so we're going to erase it, get rid of it. There are probably more efficient ways to do this, maybe even better ways to do this, but I am going to do it this way. Now I don't need the base to be a group anymore. I'll explode it. And now let's have our push-pull tool selected, or our follow me tool selected, and we'll select this face, click the follow me, and then select this face. And it might lag for a second while it draws in the rest of your vase, but there it is. There's our vase. And it is fully three-dimensional. The walls have thickness. You could actually easily 3D print this model on just about any 3D printer. And yeah, looks great. You might make it a little smaller for a 3D printer. But this is it. This is how you can model up a simple vase. A nice free-form three-dimensional solid. And I hope you found this interesting and useful. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.